Hey guys, AuspiciousAussie here, and welcome to another local to global episode here with the Canadian Wrestling Coalition. Now, of course, the previous episode, we got through a few TV shows. I don't think they were our best shows by any stretch of the imagination. Partly because I didn't use our sort of core main eventers. I mean, if I go into the creative meeting here very quickly, as you can see, our franchise players are Davis, Angry Gilmore, Aussie Goldstein, and Zeus Maximilian. Now, for this main event, we're going to go pretty strong for the go-home show itself. I think, realistically, we're going to go with Zeus taking on Aussie Goldstein. I think that's well, as far as the storyline goes, it's kind of a natural progression. Obviously, Zeus being aligned with Davis, he's going to want to try and do everything he can to soften up Goldstein before he's actually involved in that steel cage match. So, with Zeus not actually being able to be involved in the steel cage, he's going to do everything he can here tonight on this first show of the episode to basically, cripple or lower the chances of Goldstein actually winning the match and becoming the new unified, I was about to say unified world champion. So yeah, other matches we're going to do, I think we're going to go with Angry Gilmore and a tag team partner, and he'll take on Mobstar. It was Mobstar and Doc Hammond, I think we were going to do. Yeah, because we've had Gilmore taking on Doc for most of this month while actually, being involved in an actual storyline with Mobstar himself. Of course, Mobstar essentially turned heel against him on that first show of the month. So we're going to continue with that. And then, of course, we do have the pay-per-view this episode as well. So we've kind of booked in a lot of stuff. We fixed up the storylines. We really got them back to where I wanted them to be. We've got our clear storylines now. Of course, we've got Graham Gorman taking on Stephen Parker as well. That'll be at the pay-per-view. Not too sure exactly what to do with that match as far as the storyline goes for the go-home show. I was kind of thinking possibly a handicap match, but it wouldn't really make a lot of sense. Anyway, we do have Big Smack Scott. He's still wrestling at the ripe age of 47. But as you can see, he's not very good. He's also 41 stamina, so we won't be signing him. Are they actually... No, they're not even going to renew his contract. But we do have Charles Hapstander, who is the referee. Pretty bad referee. I'm pretty sure I actually let him go. And then Whole Lot of Marvin has extended his deal. He would have been a decent pickup. Yeah. He would have been a very, very good pickup there. It would have fit really nicely with the crew. But as you can see, he extended his deal, which sucks. He extended it in 1 day. Okay, it looks like he didn't want to come to our company. Even if we were, well, I guess if we were able to negotiate, he might have actually listened to our offer. But it seems like he was going to try and stay with SWF. Alright, so we are missing Kavanaugh yet again. Starting to be a bit of a problem. Anyway, we're going to go to Ottawa for tonight's show. And then, we want to once again try and do some more meddling between Sinner and Ray Cavallero. Really would... Yes! I was about to say it really would be good. And it is very, very good. We do have a meddling success. Meddling worked, and they now have no negative relationship at all. How many episodes has it been since we had zero sort of negative relationship pointers in there? That is really cool to see. I'm glad that I think I put that extra use a point on, was it diplomacy? I think it was diplomacy. Anyway, doesn't matter too much. So let's book this show. Now, the main events, like I said, we are going to do Zeus taking on Goldstein. I guess, in theory, we may as well just put Davis onto color commentary. That would make a lot of sense, because obviously he is the world champion, or the unified world champion, I should say. We'll have an angle after this as well for these guys. I think that's a decent little way to go. But I think that's a pretty solid main event. I mean, I would expect that to at least get about an 80 rating. All right, what else? So, we want to do a singles match. I want to have, where is he? Taylor Norton taking on Stan Manor. Of course, our sort of tag team title storyline at the moment. Just purely want to get this one in the books. Actually, let's have Taylor lose. I think that having Stan win this one kind of makes a little bit more sense, at least going forward for a little while. That's fine. Tag match. We were going to do... So let's do it this way. Angry Gilmore is going to team up with Bowden Snoop, who I believe is his... Yeah, his mentor, his protege. And they are going to take on Mobstar and Doc... Where is he? Doc Hammond. There we go. So Mobstar... We'll keep it 10 minutes. And I think I actually want to have Mobstar win, but we will have Bowden lose. I think that makes a little bit of sense. Hopefully, I mean, I'm not sure if we've actually put them together in a match before, but if these two have some sort of chemistry, and, you know, Bowden Snoop being his protege, that would be pretty immense. I think that would be a really good way for Gilmore to sort of see out the rest of his career. Anyway, up next, we're going to have another tag match, and this time we're going to have Doomsday Generation taking on Los Hermanos 2. And this one's going to break down. So, we're going to have a draw. We're going to have a double DQ finish. It will be decisive, I guess, because both teams are essentially losing. We can also have... some workers run in. So let's have Sinner be attacked by Gonzalez, and let's have Ray be attacked by Zombie Boy. Just so, you know, everything's sort of going on in there. Alright, what else? What other storylines do we have? Let's have a quick look here. So those are done. Oh, we needed something for Graham Gorman. That one's done. That one's done. Ooh, this one. Okay, I'll find something. Let's go maybe Primetime Jack Pride. And as you can see, he's got white hot momentum at the moment, which is pretty strange almost. But anyway, and I think he can take on... Let's go Zippy Deverill. Actually, that's going to be it's potentially going to be a bad match. I could go Robin Newman, because Robin's he's not too bad in the ring now. He's actually relatively decent. And obviously, being relative is, well, it can be defined differently by everyone, so don't take my word for it. I may as well show you. I'll show you his profile here. As you can see, above 70 for both basics and psychology. But as you can see, the primary skills are where he is really, really let down. But he does have good selling. So there you go. And I guess we'll have an angle before that match as well. Maybe from Jack Pride himself. Anyway, we have time for one more match. Just kind of wondering... Maybe we go for another... Let's go for a 6-man. And let's throw Diaz in there. Let's throw Graham in there as well. And let's throw... Maybe Osono or maybe Zach Powerson. I kind of want Zach to be in some matches. It's not really storyline based at the moment, but I just want him to be winning and hopefully gaining some popularity as well. All right, so I guess they'll take on the Moneymakers, and I guess they can also team up with maybe John Greed. That could be a... Yeah, I mean, that looks like it will be a decent match. I mean, Zach probably could have been swapped out with Yuta Sono, but I feel like Zach needs a lot more work at the moment. I think we're going to give Zach and Cooper an angle at the pay-per-view for 8 minutes, just to see if they do get any sort of decent popularity rise as a result of that. I do think we'll give Diaz the victory, and I think we'll give the loss to Jackpot. Don't really want John Greed to lose, and we do have to script this match as well. We might work the crowd with that one as well, actually. Hopefully it'll just be that little bit better than I think it will be. Because we're not going to probably have a promo before it. Doesn't exactly make... Actually, now that I think about it, maybe it does make a little bit of sense if we do maybe a Moneymakers Graham Gorman angle. Yeah, maybe we'll do that instead. So we'll go back to regular. Let's go main event first. So I want Davis. Then we're going to have Zeus. Zeus is going to be fighting. And then we're going to have Aussie Goldstein be selling. So Goldstein wins the match. Davis is cutting a promo. But we also have Zeus beating down Aussie Goldstein to finish the show. So that'll be pretty good. I think that should rate pretty highly, I would think. Alright, so that's going to go post-main event. I guess pre-main event, we might want to go Goldstein by himself. So that can go pre. Hopefully he'll do well without a script, but you just never know. You just never know. Not really too sure what I do here. That's the only thing. Because I want to save Angry Gilmore angle for Mobster. Actually, I guess let's go Angry Gilmore onto Mobster. So that'll go there. And I guess at the actual pay-per-view, I can just do a Angry Gilmore standalone angle. Yeah, fresh start. What am I doing? 107 minutes. We've still got some time left. Still got quite a little bit to do, though, to be honest. Okay, so let's go the starting angle, because I feel like that's pretty important at the moment. So Jackpot, Stephen Parker, and of course Graham. Let's maybe do Graham off screen. So double entertainment success for those two. And they will kick off the show. So Graham wants some money. That will go... Yeah, that'll start off the show, like I said. We also need a storytelling match. It'll be this one here. There's a lot of story being told in this match. Quite a bit, to be honest. Okay, so we've got one more angle. Where do I want to put it? It could either go... It could either be for Marco and Zombie Boy, or it could be for Jack Pride and James Diaz. I think we're going to go for Jack Pride. And, yeah, I guess he can come out and cut his angle. Let's go. Jack Pride wants to... Let's just say he wants to derail Diaz's career. Maybe out of jealousy. Yeah, I guess so. If you consider that Diaz is actually a former world champion, you could kind of understand why he might be a little bit upset. So they're title challenges. Okay, I feel like that's actually a pretty good way to continue that storyline there as well. We are very match heavy in the middle here, but I think it should be fine. Should be fine. Anyway, let's do a pre-show match here as well. I want to go Davis teaming up with Osono and Cooper Christie, and they're going to take on let's go for actually let's go the crew. I feel like the crew need to be in a match. And they can team up with Charlie Corner. Okay, so we'll give the victory to Cooper Christie. I think that'll be beneficial for him. Of course, needs to be on the pre-show. It is on the pre-show. What's our problem? Road agent? Bones. Okie dokie, there we go. Alright, looks pretty good. Let's run the show. Go home show for the pay-per-view. And we start off with a 64 rated match. We have Davis Wayne Newton, Yuta Osono, and Cooper Christie beating Charlie Corner and the crew in 11:43 when Cooper Christie pinned Charlie Corner with a top rope elbow drop. Almost misspoke then and again. Anyway, Davis carrying the match as you'd expect. Unfortunately, Osono was really off his game, but that's perfectly fine. It's only the pre-show, and it's actually done pretty well. Done very well, to be honest. Alright. So we then kick off the show with a 69 rated angle where we have the Moneymakers, Jackpot Jordan, and Stephen Parker. And of course, they come out and address the issues they have with Graham Gorman. And of course, Graham, he essentially wants to, well, he's challenged them to try and get some extra money out of a pay-per-view bonuses or something like that. You know, the more victories that he can get on pay-per-view, the more money he makes, essentially. And he feels that Stephen Parker is a pretty easy target for him. And obviously, Jackpot and Stephen, they both come out and say that, the money is all theirs. They are the moneymakers. There's a reason why, they're some of the top earners in the company. It's a pretty good promo. It's not too bad. They then go into 6-man tag action, getting a 70 rated match. Opening contest as well for the TV show. But we do have the more face team. And that is James Diaz, Graham Gorman, and Zach Powerson. Defeating John Greed and the Moneymakers. John Greed would be a perfect fit. How didn't I see that? He's literally John Greed. And they are the Moneymakers. And I guess they would be extremely greedy as well. That would be like almost the perfect stable. Anyway, I said he was going to have a stable. That was not the original plan. But that actually sounds almost better than what I think I had planned in my head. Anyway. They defeated the Moneymakers in 9:50 when James Diaz pinned Jackpot Jordan with an Asian thumb spike. Obviously, Zach Powerson being the weak link in the match. But it's just kind of important to get him on TV. And get him winning as well. Same for Cooper Christie. We need to make sure their momentum is not going to be in the bin going forward. Otherwise, they're really going to struggle to gain some popularity as well. Anyway, we also had Stephen Parker seeming off his game in this one, so unfortunate, but it's still rated a 70, which I'm very pleased with. Moving on to another promo. This time we have a 66 rated angle where we have Jack Pride. He comes out before his match, and of course Diaz is still in the ring. And basically, Jack Pride says that he wants to derail James Diaz's career. Obviously, he doesn't say it's out of jealousy, but that is the underlying tone of what he's sort of getting at. He feels like him and Diaz back in the day, the early days of the coalition, that they were both about the same. They were both really tipped as hot prospects in the company. But now that Diaz as well. He not only did he become a world champion, but he feels like Diaz has also eclipsed him and has essentially overtaken him. That's why Not a Team is no longer a thing. And he basically blames Diaz all of the shortcomings that he has at the moment in his own career. Okay, moving into his match, really bad. Really, really bad. Alright, so we got a 39 here. It is bad. It is really bad, but as you can see, they do have negative chemistry. But ultimately in the match, we do have Primetime Jack Pride defeating Robin Newman 10-24 by pinfall with a Pride fall. The match, as you can see, cooled the crowd as well. It's a pretty bad performance all around. Obviously, the negative chemistry really hurts. So does Robin's popularity and, of course, his top row skills, his primary skills. And I mean, Jack Pride also has relatively low psychology as well. Anyway, let's move on. It's a bad match, but I mean, it was always kind of gonna be a bad match, if that makes sense. All right, we then go straight into a tag match where we get a 46 rating for this one. You have Doomsday Generation drawing with Los Hermanos 2 in 10-20, following a double DQ. During the match, we also saw Marco Gonzalez run in and attack Sinner, and Zombie Boy also attack Ray Cavalero. Yeah, I mean, it's basically just the whole storyline, but obviously it is going to culminate. Is that the right word? I hope it is. Culminate. Yeah, there we go. I got it right. It's all going to culminate in the Canadian title match. It's going to be the rematch with Zombie Boy taking on Gonzalez. And I think I'm going to make it a stipulation match as well. Not 100% sure what we're going to do. Maybe a first blood. Maybe... We'll have a look. We'll have a look through the matches and I'll find something that fits. Maybe I Quit, something like that. I'm not too sure if we can actually use proper hardcore matches. Because that would kind of... I think that really fits with Zombie Boy's whole gimmick as well. He is kind of a bit of a nut job, a bit of a daredevil. But yeah, I like this match. It's okay. It's the two, I would say, lowest tag teams we have on our roster. So they've done pretty well. All right, we then move into a really good singles match here from two tag team specialists, I would say. Get a 66 rated match. And we do have Stan Manor defeating Taylor Norton 9:54 by pinfall with a rock and roller. Yeah, 64 there for Taylor. Obviously, his improvements, I mean, both him and Brett Kyle have had a lot of really good improvements. So I'm super happy that we did actually tie them down to those 10-year written contracts, really solidifying our tag team division for the foreseeable future, really. Yeah, good stuff there, but unfortunately he did lose to Stan, one half of our tag team champions. We then go into a 99 rated angle. Of course, we have Angry Gilmore cutting his promo onto Mobstar. Of course, they're also in action up next. Basically, Gilmore says, Mobstar, if you think you're going to beat me at the pay-per-view, you've got another thing coming. You might have this newfound attitude where you are, he already had the attitude where he didn't really care. He just kind of wanted to get in fights with anybody. But now, I think Gilmore and Mobstar, they had a bit of a unspoken unity between each other. They kind of respected each other. But now, obviously, over the course of this last month, Mobstar has just thrown that out the window. And of course, attacked Gilmore, costing him a match in the main event on that first week of June. And it's all going to culminate, once again, using the same word, at the pay-per-view. And it's going to be Gilmore taking on Mobstar. Probably just a singles match. I don't think we need to go any type of stipulation for this one. But once again, Angry Gilmore showing us exactly why he is, one of our top stars, really. One of our major stars. Getting a 99 rated promo. Alright, we then go into the tag match, which actually does, I guess, a bit better than I thought it would, to be honest. But we do have Mobstar and Doc Hammond defeating Angry Gilmore and Bowden Snoop in 10:04 when Mobstar pinned Bowden Snoop with a flattener DDT. Obviously, Bowden going to be the weak link in this one. We also had Doc Hammond off his game, so that's unfortunate. I feel like that's... Is it just me, or has that come up a little bit, as of late? I feel like he's been off his game quite a bit. It might have actually been Gilmore in that last match. I think it was Gilmore that was off his game. Yeah, I think it was actually. So, never mind. Anyway, some decent performances. 70 there from Mobstar and a 71 from Gilmore as well. So, a solid match. Very solid. Alright, we then go into a 72 rated angle. Unfortunately, Goldstein was very poor trying to improvise his dialogue. Was kind of hoping for the opposite there. We might have to script him as well. It might just be smart. It's tough because I feel like he, more often than not, is actually pretty good off script. And I feel like this... It's almost like not a true representation of his ability. Anyway, he basically comes out and says that Davis is gonna have it all to do when he takes him to hell, I guess, hell and back in that steel cage match at the pay-per-view. And Goldstein says that he's going to become, I think, a three-time world champion, possibly. First time unified world champion as well. Interesting. Anyway, let's get into the main event. Not as good as I thought it was. Yeah, not as good. I guess, I probably shouldn't have had Davis go on color commentary there. But we get a 75 rating for our main event, and we do have Aussie Goldstein defeating Zeus Maximilian in 1953 by pinfall with a golden shower. It's a good match, but I thought an 80 might be on the cards. As you can see, we did get penalized for Davis being there, so that's unfortunate. It really kind of sucks, but storyline purposes, even though technically he wouldn't actually need to be in the announcing booth. Because, I mean, they're both a part of the same storyline anyway. But we've got a 76 there for Goldstein, 73 for Zeus as well. It's okay. It's good enough. And, of course, our post-main event angle, get an 83, so it's a little bit better than the actual main event, so that's good. And, of course, we have Davis cutting a promo, I guess, in response to Goldstein. And, of course, we also have Zeus beating down Goldstein. So Zeus is on fighting, Goldstein's on selling, and then, of course, we got Davis over there on entertainment, cutting his promo. So that's a good way to finish the show, and, of course, lead us into the pay-per-view itself. Overall show rating getting us a 79 there, so I think that's, once again, still improving our popularity in Ontario, because this is the one American region, which I think is just Hawaii, due to the limited size. It's either Hawaii or Puerto Rico, but I think it is Hawaii, because it looks like Hawaii hasn't actually grown at all, which is interesting, but yeah. And like I said, in the last episode, we really need to try and get that popularity in Puerto Rico up. I'm kind of thinking about maybe running an extra show there per month. It's kind of something to think about. Anyway, we got 295,000 viewers for Coalition Wrestling there. That's pretty good. Up towards where we need to be. Okay, look at Championship Wrestling here, and once again, they've gone back to their, I guess, original sort of plan, and they just have the mob taking on, two decent competitors, and essentially winning every match. That got a 95. However, their women, once again, Brooke Tyler, Laura Flame defeating Lauren Easter and Nadia Snow, getting a 97. Should this match have gone a 97? I don't really think it should. I mean, obviously, Brooke's got a 100 rating in ring, but everybody else is kind of low. Sometimes I feel like the AI in the game books itself a little bit better than it probably should, and it somehow gets better ratings than you would kind of expect. A little bit strange sometimes. Anyway, I want to take a quick look at Super Christie. Still got cooled momentum, so I don't really like that. And then let's have a look at Zach Powerson as well. think he might have gained 1 point. Yeah, he's up to 22. He's actually gained 2 points of popularity. Okay, that's actually good. Very beneficial. Going to be a bit of a slow burn with him though. At least we'll see how he does with this promo that we're going to give both him and Cooper. Now remember, they do have low popularity. They've got good entertainment skills, but low popularity. So it's probably not going to be the best angle. And again, it is the pay-per-view. So we are kind of almost risking a little bit of our match rating, or not our overall show rating is what I'm trying to say. We are risking a bit of show rating with their promo. But, you know, we got to think long term. We want to make sure that we're able to get these guys, because they are the future. Let's be real. They're the future of the company, and we really want to try and get them over. And I think at least angles for the short term are probably going to be the best way of actually getting them over. Obviously, Cooper is already good enough to be on our TV show, I would say. He just needs that little bit extra popularity. All right. Once again, we've got some wrestler caught here, and Stan Manor being brought before. Apparently, he was an hour late to pick up his travel partner, so we got a small positive impact there. Once again, Angry Gilmore, absolute beast for us behind the scenes. We actually have nothing to do, so we don't actually need to do any sort of meddling or anything like that. And once again, the pay-per-view is going to be in Toronto, so we're expecting 37,728 fans. That's pretty big. That is pretty big. And of course, we do have a pretty big main event, so let's book that one first. I don't know why I just did that. Anyway, Steel Cage Modern. And it is going to be Davis, Wayne Newton, taking on Aussie Goldstein. The rivalry has been renewed. They do have negative chemistry. We obviously knew that. But, I mean, they're still good enough. We're going to give them 30 minutes as well. I did actually change the pay-per-view lengths. So we do actually have, instead of an hour and a half, our pay-per-views were an hour and a half long. And our TV show is literally 2 hours. So I messed that up massively. Probably should have checked that on the last episode. But now we can actually run some decent match lengths for everybody. So, yeah. This one, though, going to go for 30 minutes. I think that's more than enough time, to be honest. And realistically, it should be a really, really solid match. Even with the negative chemistry penalty that we're going to get. I'm still expecting, hopefully, an 85. 85 for our main event of a pay-per-view would be pretty ideal, I think. Anyway, next match, let's book the Canadian title match as well. I guess, like I said, what do we actually want to do? I guess we could go hardcore. I mean, let me just have a quick look. I think Gonzalez does have some hardcore about him as well. Got 44, so it's not too bad. And let's have a look at Zombie Boy as well. Zombie Boy should have relatively good. Yeah, he's got 59. So should be a good match. Oh, they also have the negative chemistry. I completely forgot about that as well. But that's fine. We'll give them. Let's give him 16. Let's give him, you know, not too much. We're not going to give him 20 minutes, but we'll give him 16 minutes. I think what I want to do, let's actually go with a bit of a swerve here. And we're going to go like that, I think. That's going to be... I think it's not going to be the best outcome, but it will be an interesting outcome. No, nonetheless. All right, up next, let's go with the Rock City Stars taking on Young and Wasted. Really looking forward to this tag match. We're going to give this one 20. I think they deserve it. Of course, it is a title match, and if we can go for that long, we may as well go for that long, if you know what I mean. Okay, so there we go. That is our tag team title match. Let's make sure Stones is on that one as well. Double check. Yeah, I need to make sure Stones is on most of these matches. All right, so what else have we got? We got Stephen Parker taking on Graham Gorman. We got Mobstar taking on, where are we, Stephen? I mean, realistically, this one should be about 20 minutes as well. But I think for this one, let's go 14 minutes. And I want to go all out because I don't really use that too much. Is that not a thing anymore? Huh. Or am I just blind? There it is. For some reason, I don't know why, but I just wasn't really paying attention to that. Anyway, should be good. It's more of, I guess, just a bit of a test to see what happens. Okay, and then up next, Angry Gilmore and Mobstar. There we go. This one, obviously just 10 minutes, purely for the fact that Gilmore doesn't have the legs to stand on anymore. Gonna go Tainted Victory there as well. So that'll be good. Robinson will have to road agent that one as well. Let's go with this one up a little bit higher, and then, yeah, like that. I might swap those two around as well. I think that looks a little bit better. Okay. What else are we doing? All right, we had James Diaz and Jack Pride, so we'll get that one in as well. Prime time, Jack Pride. There we go. Perfect. This one, I think we'll just keep it at 12 for this one. We definitely know they could go longer than that, but it's fine. Okay. I guess, yeah, that one could start us off, to be fair. Alright, what else are we doing? Not really too sure what else we actually have. I think that's actually everything, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of everything. Let's book angles. We might book one more match. But I think that looks pretty good from where I'm standing. Anyway, we're going to script Davis. We'll give him some time. That'll be our pre-main event. Then we'll go, like I said, we'll go Gilmore as well. And that'll be pre his match. Unscripted. Unfortunately, it will have to be Robinson, but hopefully he'll still be able to get a relatively good rating out of it. Let's go for Brett Kyle and Taylor Norton as well. I guess they can actually cut onto Brock and Ryan Turner and Stan Manor. They can be off screen. It can be, obviously, they will come out first because they're the challengers for the titles. We will script them as well. That should be a relatively good match, I think. Especially with us giving it 20 minutes. I'm kind of expecting big things. Up next, let's go for yeah, let's go like this. Let's go Graham Gorman and Jackpot Jordan, because we're going to go fighting and selling for this one. Just a 4-minute angle, but basically it's going to be Graham attacking Jackpot backstage before the match, so therefore he's not able to get involved between himself and Stephen Parker. Essentially evening the odds in Gorman's favour. Kick us off, we'll go with Diaz. I guess, yeah, just by himself, that's fine. And then I guess, yeah, we could also go for Gonzalez. Can Zombie Boy speak? I don't think he can. Yeah, he can't. So I guess we'll just go for Gabriella and Marco. Actually, I guess we could use all three of them. Let's go with Ray and Luis as well. It doesn't need to really be any success for the rest of them, just for the main people. Okay, so there's our Brothers for Life angle in there as well. All right, so we do actually have a little bit more time left, and I did say that I wanted to give an angle to both Zach and Cooper. So what I think we'll do a 3-on-3 6-man tag, and let's have Kavanaugh and the whole crew, and I guess they can take on. It doesn't really matter who they take on, to be honest, just as long as it's like a relatively decent team. So let's go Doc Hammond. Who else? Sono. And I guess Giant Brody. Yeah, it kind of makes sense, I guess. Let's go 16 minutes with that. Hopefully we can actually do 16 minutes, but you never know. We'll give the victory to Kavanaugh. Loser can be Hammond. I don't really care too much for Doc Hammond. I feel like he's kind of a pointless signing that I made. Anyway, there we go. That'll do us. What are our penalties? Stones and Gilmore. Okay, so this will be our storytelling match. We'll actually reduce it down to 12. And we'll make you the referee with the slow pace there. Storytelling, perfect. All right. For this angle as well, we'll go for Robinson. This one, Rudy Robinson. Okay, perfect. I guess this match could maybe be Robinson. I know it's the Canadian title match, but that's fine. All right, they still both have too much to do. So that's a worrying sign. Make you the referee there as well. Still not really solving our problems. I guess for this one we'll make, yeah, we'll do both of them there. Still doesn't fix it. Okay, Gilmore still needs one less thing to do. No, I really want to keep him there on that one because that's a real test. So I guess we'll just do this angle, and it still doesn't work. Okay, and now Robinson has too much to do now. That's just frustrating. That is. Can't really find the sweet spot for it. Keep it on Gilmore there, and maybe the match can be Robinson. Okay. Really starting to frustrate me a little bit. So he's already doing that one. This is annoying. This is super annoying. Because we still have one more angle to do. We essentially need a third road agent. Maybe it's time that I actually... Maybe we ask somebody else to be a road agent as well. I mean, technically, who has the highest psychology? Maybe John Greed. S79 is actually lower. I guess... I know people said that they wanted me to make Zeus a road agent. He's actually lower as well. What about Jackpot? 82. That's not too bad. Respect is a little low, though. What about Americana? Yeah, 82. Americana would actually be a pretty decent road agent. Yeah, I mean, we don't really have a lot of, decent psychology around the place, to be honest. 85 for Kavanaugh. Let's ask Kavanaugh. Career, road agent. Perfect. All right, there we go. So luckily for us, Kavanaugh is going to be a road agent. So let's actually get him on some of these matches, to be honest, because he is quite a bit better than Robinson. Was it the match? Did I change the match? No. Okay, perfect. Anyway, yes, what we're gonna do? We're gonna do one last angle to kick off the show with Zach and Cooper. All right, so let's go scripted. I want to go scripted just in case we don't want them to sort of fail, I guess. But let's book that. I need to put them in a storyline somewhere. Don't really know where. Let's just call it the new boys. And let's go with Zach, Cooper, and I guess eventually we'll put Jack Jackson in there as well. All right, the new boys. All right, that looks pretty good. I'm wondering if I can actually put them into a tag match as well on the pre-show. Let's have them take on Red, White, and Blue. Did we already do this match? Yes. In that case, let's have them take on Feel Good Inc. as well. Again, this is kind of just a test, really. I just want to see if they're actually able to be on the pre-show and have an angle on the actual pay-per-view itself. It looks like they can. Okay. That's pretty good. Anyway, let's save the game real quick and let's run the pay-per-view. Let's run Urban Wasteland 4. Looking forward to it. Feel like we got a really good show. And we actually start off with a 52 rated pre-show match. A little bit surprising. That's actually a little bit better than I thought it would be. But we do have Cooper Christie and Zach Powerson defeating Feel Good Inc. in 11:53. And Cooper Christie pinned Zippy Deverell with a top rope elbow drop. And yeah, Zach was the weak link, but that's perfectly fine. We also had Zippy Deverell really off his game. Cooper with a 51 in-ring performance. That goes to show how good he actually is. He's going to be a top talent, for sure. Okay. Yeah, okay. We get a 35. And we obviously knew this was going to be bad. We kind of knew. But at the same time, it is what it is. It is what it is. Anyway, we have Zach Powerson and Cooper Christie. And of course, they come out, basically introduce themselves, talk to the crowd a little bit. Doesn't go down too well. But the crowd, I guess, by the end of it, they start to maybe understand who these new youngsters are on the scene. We'll leave it at that. Anyway, opening match, we get a 57 rating, where we have the crew being Kavanaugh, Swole, and Enemy, defeating Doc Hammond, Yuta Osono, and Giant Brody in 11:40 when Mighty Kavanaugh pinned Doc Hammond with a sit-out spinebuster. It's a pretty good match. It's okay. It's nothing too special. But then again, I just want these guys to sort of get a little bit more over. And if we can take some popularity off Doc, I mean, it's not great taking it off Osono and Brody, but hopefully it'll sort of balance itself out in the near future anyway. Good match. Happy with it. It was kind of just a throwaway match as well. All right, we then go into James Diaz getting a 67 rated angle here. Angle got the crowd interested again in the pay-per-view. So that's a positive. And of course, he benefited from having a hot catchphrase as well. Good stuff. Basically says that he's outgrown Jack Pride. Jack Pride knows it. And of course, Jack Pride is a bitter former tag team partner. And Diaz is going to put it to bed once and for all. And then he's going to move on out of the mid-card that Jack seems to be stuck in. Definitely firing some shots there. Their match, it does okay. Gets a 64 rating. It's about what you would expect for a mid-card match. We do have James Diaz defeating primetime Jack Pride in 11:57 by pinfall with an Asian thumb spike. Yeah, it's just a good match. We got a 70 in-ring for Diaz, so very solid. And only a 45 there for Jack, but like I said, he is. I know the promo for Diaz said he's stuck in the mid-card, but he is actually going to be stuck in the mid-card for quite some time. He needs a lot more development on his psychology in particular. Anyway, it's a really good match. I'm happy with that. We then move into a 52 rated angle. We have, of course, Brothers for Life with Gabriella doing all the talking, all the hyping up for Marco Gonzalez. It's okay. It's pretty good. 52 is decent enough. Leading into the Canadian title match. Yeah, that match did really bad. Really bad. We're definitely going to move away from these two now. We get a 39. Just not good enough. It was also a hardcore match. And we have Zombie Boy defeating Marco Gonzalez in 15:41 by pinfall with a flying double stomp. Zombie Boy winning the CWC Canadian title. So Gonzalez did not make a defense of his belt. And he's lost it to Zombie Boy. Therefore, he's not going to be owed a rematch because he didn't, he failed to make a title defense. So he won't be awarded or rewarded for losing. He won't get that rematch. As you can see, we already knew they had the negative chemistry there, which is probably the reason why the match actually did so bad. Because you can see that a 50 in-ring from Marco and a 45 in-ring from Zombie Boy, they're not terrible ratings. I would say a 50 with those would be about what's expected. And obviously a 39 is quite a bit lower than that. Anyway, once again, it does actually bring cools the crowd a little bit. So it's actually not the worst thing in the world to be cooling the crowd a little bit. Because, obviously a crowd can burn out. Especially over a 2.5, or essentially 3-hour pay-per-view nearly. Which is essentially how much time we've used. They would be burnt out if we did not have, these little, I guess, lower matches that people aren't as interested in. Anyway, moving in to a 72 rated angle. Of course, we have Graham Gorman attacking Jackpot Jordan backstage, essentially leaving him, knocked out cold. Really, would be the best way of putting it. And Graham has a bit of a smile on his face. He's equalized things now, and of course, it's going to be Graham and Steven one-on-one. And Steven's not going to be happy without his tag team partner. Okay, so we get a 73. That's a really good rating there. Very happy with that. Interesting that it was quite a bit higher, the 73, compared to a 71 in-ring from Graham and a 64 from Steven. So the all-out note has definitely aided this match going up higher. It was only 14 minutes long. We did have Graham Gorman defeating Stephen Parker in 14:28 by pinfall with a Gorman aghast. But that's really interesting. It also got the crowd interested again. So it's interesting and got them interested. But yeah, that's interesting, I guess, going forward for the TV show itself. Maybe having like shorter match lengths for our main events could potentially have better ratings if we make our workers go all out. Instead of going for like a 20-minute slow build. I don't know. I do like the 20-minute matches, personally. Like it's kind of how I book. But doing this match as a test it's been pretty good. It's been, well, obviously it's shown or proven that it can actually work pretty well. Anyway, we move on to a 57 rated angle from from Young and Wasted onto the Rock City Stars. We have Brett Kyle and Taylor Norton. And of course, they say that they want to once again become the Coalition Tag Team Champions. And they're going to try and beat the Rock City Stars. That match, it does okay. We get a 62. It's kind of about what was expected, I guess. Maybe a little bit lower. I would have liked a 65. But it's okay. Anyway, we do have Young and Wasted defeating the Rock City Stars in 1938 when Brett Kyle pinned Stan Manor with a shooting star press. Young and Wasted win the CWC Coalition Tag Team titles. Yeah, two-time champs, Young and Wasted. And they're looking pretty good. We got a 66 from Brett Kyle. Very impressive. Unfortunately, Taylor lacking a little bit, but he did lose that match against Stan. So his popularity might have dropped down just a little bit as a result of that loss on TV. Anyway, new champs. Very happy there for Young and Wasted, of course. Like I said, they are sort of our premier tag team for our division. And they're going to be here for the next 10 years. So we may as well push them as much as we can. That's the way I see it. All right, we then go into a 100 rated angle. It's Angry Gilmore. You know what it is. It's a straight 100 by himself. As you can see, all the announcing is pretty weak and deserved better. But he does what he does. He's I guess the king of the promo, and you can probably tell just by looking at him. He's pretty angry. He's always angry. It's Angry Gilmore, and he basically goes off on one about Mobstar and his type of behavior that he's shown recently. You know, Gilmore says that he had some respect. You know, they weren't friends back in the day or a few months ago, but Gilmore did respect Mobstar, and now he's lost all respect. And tonight, going to teach him a thing or two. That match gets a 78, where we have Mobstar defeating Angry Gilmore in 10-15 by pinfall after using a foreign object. So yeah, Mobstar getting in the ring. What weapon would Mobstar use? I would kind of see him with like a hammer, like a claw hammer, something like that, and he just cracks Gilmore. Either, yeah, maybe brass knuckles. Actually, brass knuckles would probably fit him a little bit more, being the sort of gangster gimmick. Yeah, let's go with brass knuckles. So he puts on his brass knuckles, blocks Gilmore in the head, and yeah, Gilmore goes down for the 1, 2, 3. A really solid match though. Very, very good performance from Mobstar in particular, with a nice 75. Hopefully that'll boost his popularity up a little bit. Hopefully not a big loss for Gilmore. We didn't actually keep him strong, which I was kind of thinking about doing. But I want Mobstar to get his popularity, because with angles we can get Gilmore back over, I would say, relatively easily. It'll take, a month or whatever. But with those angles, I think we can get him back to where he is, around the 85 popularity mark. Whereas I want Mobstar to get into the 70s. He's kind of around the mid 60s at the moment. I'm really hoping he gets into the green 70s for his pop in Ontario. All right, we then go into an 86 rated angle from Davis Wayne Newton, the GOAT himself, the current unified world champion. And of course, tonight, he's all alone in that steel cage match. And he's facing his long-term rival, Aussie Goldstein. Here we go, the main event, steel cage match. It does pretty well. I was 1 point away from my prediction. We get an 84 rated main event for the pay-per-view. Like I said, I kind of wanted an 85. Probably would have gotten it as well. Anyway, got Davis Wayne Newton defeating Aussie Goldstein in a steel cage match in 29-38 by pinfall with a fisherman's suplex. Davis Wayne Newton making defense number 2 of the CWC Unified World title. Really good match. Of course, they do have the negative chemistry with each other. But even still, we got an 84 And Davis was also off his game as well. He was off his game for 30 minutes. Still managed to get an 84. And of course, he only got an 80 in-ring. Usually Davis is getting like a 95. So he obviously wouldn't have gotten a 95 in this match because of the negative chemistry. But he probably would have got maybe like an 85, probably somewhere around there, if he was on his game. So this match could have been a lot better. It could have potentially if he was on his game. I'm very happy with the 84. I think that's really, like I said, 85 was the target. We're one behind that. I'm going to take it all day long, especially with their negative chemistry and, of course, the lack of consistency from Davis. Anyway, let's finish the show. We get an 84 for the overall show rating as well. So yeah, Urban Wasteland getting an 84. And of course, we had Zombie Boy. I guess Urban Wasteland would kind of be Doomsday Generation's pay-per-view, if you will. And Zombie Boy managed to win the title. So yeah. We also had new tag team champions as well, Young and Wasted. I think all round, that was a pretty good show, I guess, apart from the Canadian title match. I feel like it just deserved better than a 39. But they do have the negative chemistry, so it's fine. It is what it is. But who are we going to praise? Who are we going to praise? Let's go Brett Kyle. He definitely deserves it. Let's go with Zippy Deverell. I think he might have some morale issues, possibly. Ray Cavallero definitely has morale issues, so we'll go with him as well. Luckily, we used him in that promo. Okay, hopefully that actually works out. Interesting that Steffi Cheese picture has been reused for Bernice Bonner. Interesting. I always felt like Steffi Cheese render here. It looks like she's got maybe like Botox and stuff like that. Her face looks very square and strong. Like it wouldn't move, if that makes sense. Okay, once again, Graham Gorman. He loves to give an opinion. He really does. And this time he thinks Taylor Norton isn't tough enough for the business and we should release him. Well, Graham, Taylor's on a 10-year exclusive written contract, so I can't really just go and release him now, can I? Anyway, Urban Wasteland just under 300,000 viewers there. So that's a little bit unfortunate. The fact that it's just under, but you know, it would have been nice to hit the 300k mark. Anyway, there's nothing we can do about that. Anyway, let's advance the 1 day, and then I want to check a few things. I want to check obviously the finances first and foremost, and then we want to check popularity and size as well of the company. Hopefully in the next episode, we'll actually get Jack Jackson. Not too sure if I want to keep his name as Jack Jackson. I feel like it's, I don't know, it almost sounds gimmicky. And he's definitely not a gimmicky sort of wrestler. He's, you know, top tier talent for our, I guess, the heel side of our company. And he really does look like a bit of a badass. That's a tough one to take. Company of the year so far, CWA. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it looks like we have absolutely nothing at the moment in this year's awards, so that's unfortunate. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Anyway, let's check. So we made $750,000. We had an increase in ticket sales by 300,000. We're making the same as when we were running our 4 shows per month, our 4 events. That's massive, and of course more broadcast revenue there, more in sponsors, way more in merchandise as well. Wow. Okay. We're looking healthy. We're looking real healthy. I mean, we're less than 250,000 away from making 1 mil profit per month. And if we look at the economy and the wrestling industry are both rising. Economy's at 70. Wrestling industry finally back up to a 40, which is perfect, but you know, it's not, I guess, where we kind of want it to be. But I guess over the next year and a half, probably, it'll hopefully get up to the level that we want it to be. Anyway, let's check some popularity. So Gilmore, yeah, we knew he was going to lose a little bit. He's lost 3 points of popularity there, down to 82. But that's fine, because we essentially need to take the popularity off him. That's kind of the issue we're having at the moment. As you can see, some of his stats are really starting to decrease as well, which really sucks, especially the flashiness. That would have been nice. The selling, he's losing a bit of selling as well. Consistency's going down. Stamina's way down now. I mean, when we got him, it was in the 60s. So, unfortunate, but, you know, it's age. He's 45 years old now, so there's kind of nothing we can do. Anyway. Ooh, Cooper Christie up to 40 popularity. Okay. That's a good month. He's up to 40 already. That's big. Let's check Zach. Zach's up to 27. So that promo really did some good work. I know it kind of sucked, but I think they both gained about 5 points of popularity just by having the promo there on the pay-per-view itself. And of course, with their sort of entertainment skills, they will get better and better. Like, their ratings will get better and better. I mean, Cooper's not as good with his performance skills, but I mean, they're still almost 50 for his microphone and acting, so he's still relatively good, just maybe not the best talker of the two. But that's fine. Let me actually check Davis. So Davis is up to 87. I think he was he 86? No, he was 87. He's essentially been 87 since winning the unification match. Who else? Aussie. Really would like Aussie's popularity to go up a little bit higher. I mean, he did gain 2 points this month. Even, you know, despite losing the title match, but yeah, we're just going to have to wait and see. I might want to put him into a feud with Mighty Kavanaugh. But then again, Kavanaugh's never around, so could be a bit of a problem there. And the final one I want to check is Graham Gorman. Doesn't look like he gained any popularity. Yeah, that's a problem. That is a big problem. Still 67. And of course, we can't really use him for any angles. Yeah, that's an issue. That's an issue. We might have Graham do something with Angry Gilmore just to take more popularity off of him. Either him or Doc. Maybe Doc Hammond. We'll just job Doc Hammond out a few times to Graham. Anyway, the final thing to check is our size, and we do have 72 popularity in Ontario now. So it definitely went up 1 more point from last month. So that's perfect. We're up to 72. I mean, I don't really know how much higher that can get. Obviously, we need 77 in 5 Canadian regions. And obviously, they need to be Manitoba, Ontario, Quebec. And then obviously 2 more, which will be Saskatchewan and obviously Alberta. But yeah, 51 now in Quebec, 50 in Manitoba, up to 37 in Saskatchewan. And luckily, we're up to 29 in Alberta as well. So we're only 6 points away getting onto a medium-sized broadcaster for our pay-per-views. And that pay-per-view money is so much higher than the broadcast revenue we currently get. So we're not too far away. We're a few months away, maybe like 4 or 5 months away. So probably by the end of this year, going into 2024, we should have, or hopefully have, a pay-per-view broadcaster. That would be pretty sick. That would be really sick. And obviously we'll be able to, I guess, compete a little bit better on the financial front with, you know, trying to sign these big stars that we want to get into the company. Anyway, that is going to be it for the episode, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I feel like it was a really good pay-per-view overall. Even with the, you know, we had a lot of negative chemistry, especially with the main event. But even still, it was an 84. I feel like that was good enough. So make sure you've smashed that like before you click off the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. And apart from that, guys, as always, take it easy and goodbye.